Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Yes, you read that correctly. The Indiana Fever are on their way to a WNBA championship, period. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Exhausting weekend. A lot of parallels right now between the WNBA and Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, and the NFL, and Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. But that is a video for another channel. But it was a very, very fun weekend for me, exhausting weekend for me. But let's dig into this and why I am saying this. Look, the Indiana Fever, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, this is so amazing. They had all these injuries and new players." And I get it. Okay, please don't misunderstand me. I am not discounting any of that. And a lot of the times that means an absolute disaster for a team that not just has a ton of injuries, but has so many injuries to so many key players. I get it 100%. However, let's not forget that this is the WNBA. And what do I mean that? We've had these conversations in the past for whatever reason, uh, politics, poor talent evaluation. And when I say politics, I don't mean politics in the terms of, voting and all of that, but I mean relationship. Maybe I should call that relationship issues or the politics of relationships. See Cheryl Reeve and Ariel Powers. And with all of that, you get a lot of players who should be in the WNBA that are not. And of course, you also get the revolving nonsense because of the whole hardship player and all of that with injuries. I mean, again, I said it last year. Ariel Powers, Odyssey Sims at the time, two players the Indiana Fever ought to go get. And when the Fever had the injury bug, and they weren't even initial pickups, right? We had players like Ari McDonald, who then also got hurt. It was a little while before we got to Odyssey Sims. It was a little while before we got to Ariel Powers. And yet I said, pick them up last year, folks. Go get those players. Now, Odyssey's been a little up and down. I'm not sure if that is Stephanie White and the system and how she's coaching her and giving her the green light to shoot things, or if she's making some bad decisions and taking too many shots. But that doesn't discount the fact that, again, relative to the league, it is still a plus for the Indiana Fever to pick her up. It is a plus to get rid of DeWanna Bonner. It is a plus to have Natasha Howard playing the minutes she's playing. I think Natasha Howard is more effective in that range of where she's playing, and she seems to be happy with it. And that is one thing I will shout out with Natasha Howard. There's a lot of other nonsense, such as her family and all this other stuff, but she does seem to have a good attitude for a starter who's playing about half the game, maybe a little more. And I think maybe she's smart enough to recognize, hey, I'm a little older. I'm going to be more effective for the team and I'm going to produce better if my minutes are limited. So, and look, the team shot lights out 34-68. Oddly enough, didn't shoot a lot of threes. 16 threes. That is unusual for the Indiana Fever. Only made five. Not terrible, but not great. Kelsey Mitchell was 4 of 6, so the rest of the team was 1 of 10. Kelsey Mitchell, and I tweeted this out, and it got a lot of responses. I said, hey, saying this since last year. And look, you understand when I criticize players, I don't necessarily mean that player is terrible or they don't have good qualities, and vice versa. I've been critical of things Kelsey Mitchell does that she has in her game that I think are reasonable criticisms. But I've also said repeatedly she is the best shooting guard in the WNBA. Kelsey Mitchell is as explosive as it gets, as athletic as it gets. She can get her shot when you need a player to get a shot. And there are issues at times when maybe she overdoes it, or when she's not on, that could be a problem because she's the type of player, she's not bringing other things to the game. But man, again, best shooting guard in the WNBA, hands down. Everybody was good last night. Brianna Turner, 23 minutes, 3 of 4 from the field, couple of rebounds, a block. Michaela Timpson only played 4 minutes, but she was good in it. Shea Petty played 11 minutes, 2 of 4. She also had a great play on I forget who missed the shot, but Fever missed the shot. Aces were getting the rebound. Petty snuck in there and knocked the ball out of her hands and off of her so that the Indiana Fever could get it. So from top to bottom, as good as Kelsey Mitchell was, and she was good, 12 of 23, 4 of 6 from three, 6 of 6 from the line, 34 points plus 20. She was really good. This was a top to bottom effort from the entire team that was fantastic. Lexi Hull, again, Lexi Hull only took 6 shots. She gets her shots within the team game. She was also a team high plus 24 in her 35 minutes of play in a game won by 16. This was a fantastic game. Look, I get it. The Aces won a gazillion games in a row. They were 30 and 14. The Dream were also 30 and 14. Look, the Aces have the point god awful and the fraud. Asia, after once again proving how unlikable she is in her response to getting the MVP, she went out and made a mockery of the award by shooting. Let me just double check. But I believe she was 6 of 22, correct? Yes, 6 of 22. By the way, shout out to Aaliyah Boston. I will say, usually when Aaliyah Boston doesn't take a lot of shots and score a lot of points, the rest of the game suffers. She's not very good defensively. But no, despite only scoring 6 points and only being 3 and 9, she grabbed 11 boards, had 5 assists, and was very, very solid defensively, and a big reason that A'ja Wilson shot 6 of 26. In fact, let's take a look at some of these. Hopefully, look, if you see something blurred out or blacked out or missing, I'm sorry about that. That was the WNBA issue and a YouTube issue, and I had to take it out. There's nothing I could do about it. I never know ahead of time what's going to happen, but let's take a look at some of these. Let me see. I think this is the we are we call this the Angel Reese, right? And this is as good as it gets in that regard. Okay, look where she is, folks. She's got body position. She's on her strong side. She's right under the basket. She's what, 6'4" or 6'5"? This is as easy a bucket as it gets. Yo, folks. Now hold on, back up. This this didn't even touch the rim. This doesn't even look. I mean, look where she's shooting it from. She's maybe a foot away, and she puts it so up above the box and over the rim. That's not easy to do, yo. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of credit on that one. That is not easy to do. And then let's not forget, A'ja Wilson was also Defensive Player of the Year. Oh my goodness. Wait, back that up. What just happened? Aaliyah Boston with a little pump fake. A'ja Wilson jumps up in the air, can't recover. Aaliyah Boston goes to the bucket. Yes, that's right. This is your defensive. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. This is your Defensive Player of the Year biting on, and this is not a knock on AB. I'm just saying where she is, where she's D'ing her up to bite that badly on a little pump fake like that is atrocious defensively. Oh, I mean, Aaliyah didn't even go up with it. She just got shooting position, got set. And by the way, that is how you make a layup. That is your co-defensive player of the year, folks. Yes, it is. But you know what? She also got embarrassed by AB a couple other times, again, defensively. So here we go. We're going to back her in. Okay, no problem. That's good. That's not an enemy. Oh, look at that flop. It's like she got. I won't even say it because YouTube probably won't like it. But again, okay, this is a good body. That's good defense. That's good offense. Nothing there. And then, oh my goodness, what happened to me? I don't know what she's doing there, but it didn't work out well for her. We got a couple of more we're going to go over. Just again, so, now here again is a great example of Aaliyah Boston and what I mean about how she defended in this game, because this is all you can do. Sometimes it just means a great player is going to get their shots, and you have to do what you can to make the shot as difficult as possible, not to necessarily keep them from shooting. So we got AB. Look, she's just staying in front. She's moving her feet. She's going straight up. She's going to, hey, look, you're going to get this shot, but I'm not going to make it easy for you. and then I am going to grab the rebound. We got a few more we got to show. Hopefully you're seeing these because these are important. Yeah, uh, this is absolutely true. She gets away with a lot of things. Let me see if I can get to where this is. Watch where we watch Asia Wilson a little to the right of center. Let me just run right over Lexi Hull. And yeah, we're not going to call that. Why would we call that just because Lexi's in position and Asia Wilson runs right over her? There's no reason to call that, right? The Asia whistle. That is the Asia whistle, folks. And here's a little hustle where we actually got something called in our favor. Again, this is the hustle. This is like the Shea Petty play that I saw. That should be Ace's ball, folks. That should be Ace's ball. But Lexi Hall from the 3-point line, she doesn't stop. She pursues the ball and actually gets a call there. And that is the type of stuff that the Indiana Fever have been doing as a team that can be the difference between winning and losing. Okay. Yeah, this type of stuff that just happens with the Fever all the time. They called Aaliyah Boston on this. Come on. Come on. Oh, that was terrible. I got to run that back for y'all. But oh well, you can see. There it was. Yeah, they called that out on Aaliyah Boston for whatever strange nefarious reason. I just wanted to point that one out. And just one more to be clear about what it is Asia Wilson is allowed to do. Again, Lexi Hull, let me just literally two hands shove her to the ground when she is just standing there. You saw that correctly, folks. We are going to slow this down just to make it very, very clear. You can see the official looking the bottom of your screen, looking right at it. Lexi Hull sets the pick. And Asia Wilson just backing her up and shoves her to the ground. Now, you've seen the calls that have gone against the Fever with setting illegal picks and all that nonsense. And there you go, folks. That is something that absolutely was not called. I just want to point one other thing out just for a little bit of fun. Yes, it is Kennedy Carter. It's something about underdogs that will always make me root for them, no matter what team or who you are. It's inspiring. Yes, Kennedy Carter going full court press on her redemption arc, get her back in the league. Look, the Fever won every single quarter. They just played a solid game top to bottom. I don't care about the Lynx. People talk about, oh, there was injury when we beat them in the Commissioner's Cup. Great. There were a bunch of injuries when the Lynx then beat them at the end of the season. This team is, knock on wood, with that type of thing, has been getting better and better as they are learning more and more how to play each other. They have plenty of talent on this team. They are a team. And yes, there are teams that win things that players don't even like each other. But you know what? That doesn't mean that chemistry doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that players playing for each other doesn't matter, because it certainly does. So I don't care about the Lynx. The Indiana Fever are my favorite to win this title in 2025. It is going to be title one of their first three-peat. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.